Right, so just got my cylinder heads back from the machine shop, and it was only a, I think, 2-day turnaround, so that's pretty nice. And they look great. They actually just throw them in a parts washer and clean them and everything, so all the grease and slime and sludge is gone, so that's perfect for me. I don't have to do any of that myself. And everything looked great. They said they were to factory spec as far as like the clearances go and thickness goes when I brought them in there. So they've actually never been surfaced before, so that's cool. This is the first time they've ever been surfaced because, I mean, you can only take so much material off, of course. So these are brand new. I just got to do a little bit of port cleaning, I guess, if I really feel like it, even though I'm definitely not going to. Anyways, so I got to remove 32 valve stem seals and clean the valve seats 32 times. And this is going to take a while. It's basically just like doing 2 4AGE heads. So I guess it's twice the work. But, you know, that's just part of working on V8s, I guess. So, anyways, I'm going to take these out now and rebuild them. I'm going to be doing like, not voiceover, but commentary this time because switch it up from the music. Might be a little bit more interesting or entertaining, I guess. But anyways, my brand new table is ruined with oil and just grime, so all the parts are here in order, and I guess I'm gonna have to go through order of operations to reinstall everything. But I gotta clean off the heads of the pistons as well because they're looking a little bit sludgy and gross from all the oil that's been burning over the past months, years, however long that's been going on. Anyway, the block looks great. I have yet to remove the water pump. That's one of the last things that actually has to be removed from this, and then I can go ahead and just slam everything back together. I'm not going to be doing rings or bearings on this, and I'm also not going to be doing the starter because the previous owner actually did it, and it's only like 20 or 30,000 miles old. Not even, actually. I think it's newer than that. So that's going to stay, and I might regret that later, but it's a quality Denso, so I think that'll be fine, and who knows how long I'll actually keep the car. So I'm going to be going over this with a toothbrush a little bit too to clean off the rest of the baked on nasty oil that wasn't removed by the pressure washer. But so parts came in, head gasket and intake valley gasket, whatever, manifold gaskets. They actually sent me 4 exhaust manifold gaskets, so that's pretty weird. I don't know why they did that. Water pump gasket, even though this water pump came with the gasket, so I have 2 of those now. And a timing kit with tensioner, pulley, and this seal, which I don't know what that's for yet. These look like throttle body gaskets maybe, and as well as just a few other random paper gaskets. Valve stem seals, which is why I did all of this, because I think these are all bad. Copper washers, miscellaneous. These, which I forgot what they're for right now. Valve cover gaskets and cam cover gaskets. Rear main seal, front main seal, and cam seals, which are a nightmare on the 1UZ. Exhaust manifold gaskets. These are questionable quality, or not exhaust manifold, header collector to main catalytic converter to the midsection, whatever. Spark plug tube seals, which I already have new ones in there, so I'm not going to be doing those. Water pipe gaskets. And cylinder head bolts, Malley. What else do we got? Yeah, there's my second water pump gasket. Water pump. And thermostat. And I think that's pretty much it. I might be forgetting a couple little things, but anyways, all the new stuff going on this old ass engine. So anyways, I'm just trying to procrastinate as much as possible because here are all the valves and valve springs and buckets and shims. I managed to not lose any of the keepers this time, and I got a special tool to help me do that, which hopefully I'll be going over earlier. So keeping these in order is obviously very important because each shim has a different thickness to it, so different measurement for each valve bucket separately. So intake front, left hand side cylinder head, and then exhaust front, intake front, right hand. So yeah, this is going to be so much fun. It's going to be a couple hours before I get these assembled. So anyways, yeah, there it is. All right, the nightmare begins. So the machine shop actually had a very attractive woman working there, which was pretty weird. Usually I'm used to seeing old dudes who have been doing it for 50 years, but anyway, she was able to do this just fine. I actually had a broken bolt in the front for the power steering bolt, or bracket rather. I didn't actually do that, I just found it in there, which was right here, so they were able to take that out as well. Anyway, the pretty lady was able to surface and polish my headpiece, so now it's ready to assemble. So a long time ago, my dad actually taught me how to do this, as in like rebuild engines and cylinder heads and stuff. So I'm very grateful for that because I like to buy old crappy cars, and it's no doubt saved me thousands of dollars. So anyway, in here are the valve stem seals, which I'll focus a little bit more. Hopefully you can see that. I can't really be bothered to do an extra angle, but you got to reach in here with these circular shaped pliers, which I just bought, which makes this a whole lot easier than needle nose pliers because you can clamp down as much as you want with these pliers because they're circular. They don't put like all of that force on two sides of the valve stem seal, so you don't have to worry about crushing your valve guide, which is a nightmare. I've kind of done that before, but luckily I was able to bend it back in shape because I think they're actually brass. But anyway, so I'm going to stick these in here and just go ahead and remove all these. I already did this side, and I'm halfway done with the exhaust side, which the exhaust side ones come out a bunch easier on the cylinder head, so they look very burned, so I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So basically it's super easy. So basically it's pretty easy. You just want to go ahead and go in there with these. Make sure you don't scratch around this edge right here, this circular part, because that's where the actual bucket goes. And if you scratch that, it's not good because this needs to be perfectly smooth for the bucket to actually go up and down at, you know, multiple thousands of RPM. So that's it. That's about the best angle I can get, but I'm going to clamp it down, basically just wiggle back and forth, and it comes out. So they can be a bit of a bitch to do if they're really stuck in there, but the exhaust side for some reason comes out way easier than the intake side, which about a quarter of the force I would normally put into these. So see if I could focus. Yeah, can you see that? On the inside. Sorry about my nails. But it looks pretty crispy on the inside, and this plastic, or this rubber, feels kind of like really brittle. So hopefully this is the cause of my oil burning, but I'm pretty much replacing everything anyway. So here's one of the intake ones, and if you can see, it doesn't look as burned, which is kind of a good sign, I guess, for this being the cause of the oil burning, because if they were to leak on the exhaust side, which I just showed you, I'll pick up a different exhaust one. Yeah, there you go. Kind of see that burning. I don't know. Hopefully this turns out good on camera, but oil goes past this seal and it goes directly into the combustion chamber, which obviously you don't want oil in there on the combustion chamber, and burns out the exhaust. So not good. Here are the brand new ones. They're all the same. Doesn't matter which side, intake or exhaust or anything. I don't know if that's actually the case for every engine or not, but I think I'm just going to use this tool to install them as well. Just make sure to not clamp around any areas that are rubber, obviously, and just be really gentle, because all they need is just a gentle push in and then click onto the valve guide, and then we should be good as long as I hear that click and it is perfectly around the guide, so they're not going to be loose in there, because that would be an absolute nightmare.
I tell us Chris Fonseca have? He has like tiny arms, maybe?
Yeah, but he's in a wheelchair, right?
Oh, yeah. I just was trying to guess what it was with what you...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
He could have been a T-Rex.
T-Rex could be a T-Rex.
Yeah, right.
It moves.
Yeah, but he...
But yeah, he's in a wheelchair.
He's in a wheelchair, but he took his handicap and he turned a negative into a positive, which is what we both did, I think.
I think so.
Right? Because I think that you and I are both mythological in that way.
So basically what I found to be easier is just to go ahead and drop the guide into each hole and then just work it around with my finger, because it takes less time and I think it's a little bit easier. So
any other way, I might not even like it. I might kill myself. This is the perfect life, but you know, the human condition.
I'm going to do that for all of these. This is the second cylinder head now. I already did the other one, which is right there.
I was like, this is great. I just want a bunch of money.
So anyway, just going to keep dropping these things in there.
Why do I need to go do more prints?
And I'll show you how I install those.
Post for a while, because I've just done that.
Yeah.
So I took my foot off the gas, but
Alright, go ahead and work that around with the finger there. And once it's in that position, go ahead and use your disgustingly long nail, and then just push down with the thumb, and then you can kind of feel it with your finger. Slip over that edge there, and then it's good.
At the time that she was on the show, she was green as hell. She hadn't been doing stand-up that
Brand new valve guide seal. Time to do the other 15.
I have no ill will towards Amy Schumer. In fact, we became friends.
All right, so both heads are on now, and I'm about to torque them down. I probably should have put cams on here and tested if all the keepers are gonna stay where they're at or not, but just decided to wing it this time, you know? Risk it for the biscuit, I guess. Save some time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the sequence. So 29 foot-pounds and then a 90-degree turn with the torque wrench. So that's what it's gonna be, and that's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, these are torque to yield rather. So anyway, these are torque to yield bolts. So I already went ahead and tightened every single one in order. Just a little bit, snug them down before I go to torque them. So none of these are like finger tight, loose or anything. So they're a little tight, but not torqued to 29 foot-pounds. So there's 29, then 3, 29, 29, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right. So now comes the 90-degree turn on every one of them.
Smoke.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. Okay. All right. 90 degrees. Just like that. All right, that's all torqued down. Now I can go ahead and put the cams in.
Let's pop a bottle. My wife against you, not just a model. Fuck a chopper, let's pop a bottle. My wife against you, not just a model. Fuck a chopper, let's pop a bottle. My wife against you, not just a model. Fuck a chopper, let's pop a bottle.
All right, so I did the classic YouTuber move. My camera battery died. I'm on the GoPro now. So I got the engine assembled fully. I'm dropping it in right now into the car. I don't know. I just got in the zone and I didn't feel like just waiting for the camera battery to charge and setting up the GoPro to do all those shots. And the complete disassembly is in another video. So anyways, here's what I'm working with right now. The engine's going in the car pretty good. I think I got the hooks. I don't have a level, so balancing it is kind of weird. But anyway, it's going in just fine. I managed to slip it under the trans tunnel right there, which is hard to do by yourself because you can have to push down on the trans while lowering the engine lift yourself. So yeah, it's kind of tricky, but I thought I'd film it going the rest of the way in because it's pretty close now. All I really have to do is just drop it straight down. So hopefully everything lines up, and hopefully I didn't forget anything this time. So I forgot a water pipe that goes under the intake manifold, so I had to take the intake manifold back off, all the wiring off, throttle body off, and then just to get that one water pipe in there. I really like working by myself. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case when I was assembling this, so I missed a couple steps, but that's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. I just got a little distracted. It cost me about 2 hours of extra work. So anyway, getting the trans on was a little bit of a nightmare, and I had a few issues, but pretty much I'm on the home stretch now. So anyways, I don't know if this is any good quality, but I'm gonna try to set it up and see if it should go in. All right, so I just buttoned everything up, got the fuel lines on, got all the vacuum hoses ran, everything here. I'm gonna double check everything later, but for now it should be good. I even put the mileage and the date for the timing belt. So all that's left to do is just hook up the battery. I got the radiator hoses done. I got the belt routed down there. ATF cooler hoses done. I'm just kind of like refreshing my own memory doing this. The wiring inside the car is done. Everything back here, the heater core pipes are all good. Throttle cable, I think we're good. The fan's on. I think we're okay. There's no coolant in it yet, but there is oil, and I just filled up the power steering fluid with Dexron ATF. So I think we're good. The only big problem I had was I forgot to route the wiring. I forgot to route the wiring that goes on the transmission over it. So I had to drop the transmission down a little bit and then get the wiring harness over, which was a little bit of a nightmare because I already buttoned everything up down there. But that's all good now. I'm just so used to manuals where you don't need to actually plug anything into the transmission. So it's a little bit new to me. It's my first V8, my first like automatic, like, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and hook up the battery. It's in park. Everything's okay there. So start it. All right, that's it. There is the rebuild done. So time to just get all the clips and covers and stuff on the engine and take it for a drive later, but that is it. So sorry for kind of jumping from putting the cylinder heads on and the cams on to it running, but you know, I already filmed most of it on the teardown, so it's pretty much just the opposite of that video. Pretty boring stuff that's cut out. So hopefully that was pretty informative. Anyway, I'm gonna edit this and upload it because I'm trying to do once a week videos at least now, so there is the Lexus rebuild done. Now, all 3 of my cars run, which is great. The E30 is just outside, so walk around video and detail video coming on this car next. So I'm gonna go over everything I did to it and just a walk around and details of it because it's been a while. So anyways, thanks for watching. See ya.